Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I've spotted a few sellers who are going to give our dealers a real run for their money.
I think you know better than that.
That's not enough. What's wrong with my money?
I might have to step in to sort things out. No dramas, no Judy Garlands, none of that stuff. Okay, one thing I know for sure, everyone that comes into the show today, they want to walk away with the real deal.
Today the show comes from Welling Garden City in Hertfordshire. David and his dealers are set for a busy day. So with no time to lose, how about this for an opener? What does Corrie Jeffrey think?
This letter open's a very smart item and I'd like to buy it. I don't really want to pay more than £250.
A valuable little tool then. And Jean has a special reason for wanting to sell.
I'm trying to collect money so that I can go back to the land of my birth, which is Zimbabwe in Africa.
Let's hope you get the money you need.
So, do you know what it is?
I think it's a letter opener or paper opener, but I would like to know where it's from and a bit about it, because it was a gift for our 25th wedding anniversary in 1953, because I've been married for 54 years.
My goodness. You're right, it is a letter opener. So you use this to open the envelopes.
Yes, and it's been well used since we've had it. But where is it from? Has it got any history?
It is English, and its maker is Map and Webb, very well known, very good maker. And you've got the year mark, but it's really badly rubbed. But I imagine it's about 1900. The blade is tortoiseshell or turtleshell. And the handle is the interesting bit. It's a calendar.
Yes.
So if the first of the month was a Saturday, S,
yes,
you twirled it round so that the S was on the first. If the first of the month was a Sunday, you very carefully moved it to the Sunday, or the Monday, or the Tuesday, and that way you aligned the whole month. So it would be Sunday, the 1st of May, June, July, and so on. So it's an adjustable calendar and a paper knife all in one. So you were given it for your wedding anniversary here in the UK?
No, this was in Zimbabwe, Rhodesia as it then was. Yeah.
Very interesting how these things travel, isn't it?
It is. Well travelled.
And do you have a reason for selling it?
Well, I'm hoping to raise a bit of money because I'm already 80, but my husband turns 80 next year, and we want to go back to Zimbabwe, but the prices are so exorbitant, so I'm hoping to raise a bit of money for us to go back.
So shall we start with a very substantial bid? Now you know that if you're not happy, it can go to auction. So let's put some money on the table. We'll start with a few red ones. 50, 100, 150, 200. She's frowning, but no, a bit more. 220 on the table, but we've got help on the horizon.
Now, my independent valuers are saying £200 to £300. There is £220 on the table, and I'd probably normally say to you, well, I think that's okay, but in this case, I'm going to say I don't think it's okay, because it's quirky, and the word is smart. Because it's smart, I think it's worth more. And I think our valuers have gone a little bit shy on this. I'm going to say, unless she puts more money on the table, that is worth a gamble.
Right, thank you, David.
I haven't stopped.
Right.
So I'm going to put 240, 250. It's 250 on the table. John, were you a headmistress?
A nurse.
Well, you certainly looked at me like, I felt like I was back in front of the headmistress's office there for a moment.
matron.
Yeah. That would do. That would fill the
Long
bill.
time ago.
Jean, you have 250 on the table.
Right. How about another 10?
Well, if I put 260 on the table, would we have a deal? Straight question.
Okay, another 10.
Another 10 and we're at 260. And we have a deal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean. I think I paid a very good price for the letter opener, because I'd really like Jean and her husband to get back one last time to Zimbabwe.
You are a big softy, Corrie. You've obviously made Jean's day. Lauren has brought in her mum's elegant continental plaque for Janice. But is there a deal to be done?
We'd like to take 1,000. Really hope Janice can give that to us today.
I'd be looking to pay no more than £600 for this.
That's a big difference. Will Janice step up to the plate?
You brought a KPM plaque in today.
Yes.
How do you come to own it?
Well, actually, my mum knocked on a lady's door when she was 5 years old that lived in her street and asked if she could go in.
Yeah.
And the lady said, well, not the man of the house isn't in today, but you can come back tomorrow. So she did. They became the best of friends. Sadly, she died 4 years ago, but she left everything to my mum, and this was something that was left in her will.
Oh, gosh, what a story. Well, it's a KPM plaque, and these were made in Berlin in the 19th century. And it's of a beautiful woman, just thinking. Does it have a title, or do you call it anything?
Well, it's called Gypsy Girl, apparently.
Gypsy Girl, yeah, I can see that. It is marked on the back. Take this down. We can see the KPM mark, and there are some numbers. And it's in good condition. There are no chips. It's an interesting piece. So, we'll see what we can do. We'll make an offer.
Yes.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 40, 60, 80, 400, 500.
No, I'd definitely want more than that.
A lot more than that?
Definitely want more than that, yeah.
Right, okay. Okay. The market for these, I feel, is a bit soft at the moment, but I will put some more money down. I've got £550 on the table. Am I getting closer?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. All right. Here's David. Let's take David's advice.
Well, I was in this business for many, many years, and perhaps 15 years ago I used to go to the auction. Very fashionable then. They were bringing teens of thousands, depending on the subject matter.
Yeah.
The more titillating they are, the ladies with the more revealing garments, they were very, very desirable. The estimation on this from the independent valuers and the auctioneer is £800 to £1,200. I think it's more likely an £800 plaque than a £1,200 plaque, but I don't think that is enough. And I think if you want to test the ground and test the market, you have to go to the sale room. Give it a go. Let's go to the auction. Let's see if we can find a buyer.
Okay, Lauren, you've heard David's advice. What would you like to do?
Is that your final offer?
I think it is, yeah.
I think I'll go to auction then.
Have you ever been to an auction before?
No.
Oh, well, you'll have a really good time. Enjoy it. I hope it does
Thank you.
well.
I do think it will do better than the dealer's offer. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, because I'd really like the money for me and my brothers and sisters.
Lauren's undaunted, but if the bidders don't agree, she'll be going home with china in her hands. Over in the sale room, it's the hottest day of the year, and the air conditioning has gone kaput. But the Duke doesn't let things like that stop him.
250.
You came along on the dealer's day, you sat down with our dealer Janice, and she offered you £550. Now that was not enough in comparison to the independent valuation you'd been given. which was 8 to 1200. Now there was originally a reserve a little bit lower. It's now £1,000. The auctioneer said to me he thinks it's rather bullish at £1,000, so it might be difficult.
What's it worth? Good looking object, isn't it? Start me, £600 to go. £600 and 50, 750. £750.
It's still a bit low at 750.
800 if you like. At £750 it is perfect. At 750, all done.
£750 under the gavel. A good price, but not good enough as far as you're concerned. You raised your reserve to £1,000. It didn't sell on the day. Are you disappointed?
No, not at all. We'd rather keep it. So.
I'm sure there are strong sentimental memories there, so take it home, keep it for a few years and enjoy it. On the day, it just didn't make its money in the sale room.
If only you hadn't changed your reserve, Lauren. Never mind. Back in the den, some vintage flying items have turned up on Stuart Hofgartner's table. Has Biggles arrived in the den? No, it's Reno.
I don't really know too much about it, but I'm hoping to get around about £250 to £300 for it. And in order to get that money, I'm going to be ruthless and make Stuart work all the way.
Reno means business. But have you got a plan, Stuart?
Flying helmets, I can always sell. I've got a client for them, and if he hasn't got too many, he'll take these.
OK, you're cleared for takeoff, boys. Chocks away.
Tell me about them, what you know about them and how you acquired them.
OK, I don't really know too much about them, but I acquired them from my great-uncle, his father-in-law that got passed to my great-uncle, and then who left them to me.
So they come down in the family, that's a good thing, yeah. Okay.
And they've just been sitting in my attic and just collecting dust, to be honest.
Okay, but quite good things. I mean, I don't know how closely you studied them and how well they're made.
Right.
I mean, and if you consider the pilots would have worn these on aircraft that are fairly different to what they are today. These particular ones, have survived very well. So we've got one pair of goggles, 2 flying helmets, and looking at this here, I was looking for proof of origin, what nationality, where they came from, and then I found this crow's foot, which is the mark, the WD War Department mark,
right,
and which confirms that they're British. So we've got 2 British flying helmets. Second World War towards the end, or a little bit later than the Second World War. We've also got in its original box, by the look of it here, is a microphone, a throat microphone, and that's American. So they come down the family. You don't want to keep them.
Obviously, they're family heirlooms, so they've come down in the family. So it would have to be a considerable amount. If
Considerable.
You like.
I'm not sure I like that word, but a reasonable amount.
We can negotiate.
Okay. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 120, 140, £160.
You're getting there.
Am I?
You're getting there.
I haven't flown past it yet then.
You're getting there slowly.
Okay.
Slowly.
Not too slowly, I hope. I reckon I'll get a one each for them, so that's 200 quid, £160. £170.
I'm sure you can do a little bit better than that.
I could give you the earth for them, couldn't I? But I've got to make a profit in the end, haven't I? £170.
Stick another tenner on it?
Another tenner. £180. Do you have a deal?
We have a deal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What happened to being ruthless, Reno?
I did want 250, but looking at Stuart, I think he was only going to pay 180. 180 I'm happy with.
That's about what I thought I'd get them for, and there's a profit in it.
If there wasn't, you wouldn't be a dealer. Coming up, Ian takes centre stage.
No dramas, no Judy Garlands, none of that stuff today. OK, £10 to a bejewelled diva is nothing. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Hi, I'm Ian.
We know Ian likes a pretty thing and Michelle's hoping to tempt him. What do you know about this clock?
It's just beautiful. I couldn't describe it any more than that.
Fair enough, but have you come to the right dealer?
If I buy it, it has to be very reasonable, very cheap.
Hang on, Ian. You say that every time.
French, late 19th century, I take it. Does it work?
I have no idea. I've never actually tried to work it because I've got over 200 clocks and the noises would be deafening of them all.
You only have 200 clocks? Well, looking at it, it needs a lot doing to it. This all at one time would have been gilded. It would have looked quite spectacular. The movement would need, I imagine, a lot of work. Do you have a key to it?
No.
No. How long have you had it?
15 years.
15 years. And you've never tried to get it fixed or repaired or anything?
I just, as I said, they're just like ornaments. There's too many of them.
Do you remember where you bought it?
A charity shop, believe it or not.
In a charity shop. Why, when you got all those clocks, you picked this little one?
Because this one is the one that's the most delicate. The rest of them are more the wood with the chimes and all of, you know, they're big and bulky, proper mantelpiece clocks, whereas this one is the delicatest one of the lot. And it just can't go out anywhere, so I didn't see a point for it.
So it doesn't blend in with the rest of the family?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. To me, you know, I would say if I got it for £50, I would spend money on it, you know, because as far as I'm concerned, it needs a lot of work and it would just be an ornament, you know.
Michelle, now, independent valuers, auctioneers, they're all in that £60 to £100. I think what we've got to do is broker a deal here whereby you get your money back and hopefully a little bit of profit, and we persuade Ian perhaps to get a midges little bit more. I mean, he's a kind boy, so tell me, what did you pay for it?
I think it was about 45, something like that.
45 quid. So we're not miles away from brokering a deal here. I'm going to say... You see? This is what I'm dealing with on this show. No dramas, no Judy Garlands, none of that stuff today. Okay, so get another tenner down. You'll clean it, you will sell it in your shop once you've spent money on it, and you can go away by recycling your money. Deal is done. Don't look at me like that. Put the tenner in. £10 to a bejeweled diva is nothing. Okay?
£10. Okay.
I'm going to advise you, take that money, learn from that, buy something perhaps just that little bit better, and on the day you're out of it and he's got to sell it.
I've got to repair it. So £60 on the table. You're gaining a profit and I'm making a loss, so we have a deal.
We have a deal.
Thank you very much. £60. I mean, you know, less than a bottle of my champagne. What can I say? I had to buy it.
The proof of the pudding will be when you sell it, won't it, Ian?
Hello, Helen.
It's time for a coffee break now. Helen has brought the pot. Has Janice Kehoe brought the bickies?
I'm hoping for a round figure of about £160.
I don't really want to go more than about £80.
Oh dear, someone passed the sugar.
You brought me in a 3-piece coffee set, I think it is.
Yes.
How did you come to own it, Helen?
Well, it belonged to my mother. It's been left to me in her will. She died 2 years ago of cancer. And I've checked with my two brothers and they didn't want it. That's why I brought it along here today.
Yep. It's pottery overlaid with silver.
Yes.
And I think this is probably about 1910,
right.
Looking at the design of it.
Of course, yes.
And it's in very good condition. It probably would have had some cups and saucers with it at one time.
No, it's never had cups and saucers with it. That's how I remember it.
That's how you remember it.
I've been cleaning it for over 40 years, so that's all I can... There's definitely no cups and saucers with it.
Definitely no cups and saucers.
No.
Okay. Well, it's very beautifully made. The colours are very striking, aren't they?
Yes.
Really lovely deep blue.
Yes.
And the silver work on it is very finely done.
It is.
I think it's probably American.
Right.
Looking at the way it's designed and everything. If we look on the bottom, it's marked with an olive wreath. Then you've got some initials and you've got Lennox on the bottom. If you look very carefully, you can see what I think is a retailer's mark. It's Shriver, Lowe and Company, and it's marked fine silver. So we know the overlay is actually silver.
It is, yes.
People at the moment aren't using tea sets to drink out of. They're all using mugs, I'm
exactly,
afraid.
Yes.
Yeah. So although it's a really beautiful thing, I think it's gorgeous. And we'll see what I can do, and I'll get some money out for you.
Okay, thank you.
So we put 20, 40, £50. How does that suit you? Am I a long way away?
You're a long way off, yes.
All right, okay. If I take that 10 away and put £60.
No, still a long way off.
No, okay. Go 70, 75.
No, still a long way off.
No. What's wrong with my money?
No.
Okay, we've got 75.
No.
No? And I'm still a long way
still
away.
not off,
right,
yes.
okay. I'll take that 5 away, put another 10, so we're at £80.
Could you not put another 20 on? Make it a round figure 100?
No, I can't. Because I see that selling at £100.
Right.
So, I mean, the most I'm prepared to go to is £90.
Yes.
That, I'm afraid, is my final offer.
Okay, we'll have a deal at 90.
Brilliant. Thank you
Okay,
so
thank
much,
you very
Helen.
much.
Thank you.
Okay.
So much for the £160 you wanted, Helen.
I was a little bit disappointed in the deal, obviously, but I didn't really want to go to auction because I couldn't guarantee that I was going to get £160.
I got it for less than I think the seller was hoping to get, but I think I'll have it for a long time.
That's not ideal for an antiques dealer, is it? Up next, Stuart uses his wit to soften up a seller.
Let's see if we can get the right notes.
Oh dear. And guess what David wants for Christmas?
This is a nice man's lot. This is a nice lady's present to a man.
There's no let-up in the pace of the dealer's day in Welwyn Garden City. Helen has brought in something shiny to the den. But will she make a mug of the dealer?
Hello, Helen.
Hello, Corey.
You brought along this lovely silver mug.
Yes.
And you're going to tell me how you came by it.
Well, it belonged to my grandfather, and I remember it being on the sideboard along with a lot of other silver, which every Saturday morning I used to have to clean. So it's got happy memories, but I don't ever remember it being used.
I like it because it's lovely and simple. And it's silver because it's hallmarked. And you've got a maker here, W&W, which I don't know.
Could it be Walker and Wheeler?
Walker and Wheeler, yeah, well done. Yeah, nice, good quality maker. And you've got the figure of the lion, which tells you it's sterling silver.
Yes.
And you've got leopard for London, and you've got an H, capital H, which I think is about 1943, 44.
I think so, roughly that time.
So it's London, the war years. And what's so nice about it is it's simple. And inside, you can see it's a slightly different colour. It's been gilded.
Right.
So it was used to drink out of. So it's been a functional mug. If you gild it, it means it doesn't taint. You don't taste the silver, because gold doesn't taste. So you've got a lovely functional piece of silver. And that's what's so nice about it, that it can be used. And have you decided to sell it because you've got a reason?
I've a little bit fed up of cleaning silver, actually. I was
going to ask you about that.
As you can see, I do clean it reasonably regularly because it's such a lovely piece.
It is a lovely piece, which means I'd like to buy it, doesn't it?
Right.
So I'm going to put 20, 40, 60, She's so serious. 80. 100.
You're getting there.
You put 120 on the table.
No, that's not enough. Yeah.
We've got 120 on the table, 140. Still
Just
hesitant.
before you say anything about how you feel, let me tell you what my independent valuers and the auctioneer say and what I think about it. 140, 180, 150, 200 is the around estimation, so between 140 to 200. What we've got here is a fairly commercial item because this is a nice man's lot. This is a nice lady's present to a man. Take it down to the local, hang it behind the bar. I've got my own pint pot there. So, I think it's worth a little bit more. And for a little bit more, then I'd sell it.
Thank you, David.
I agree with everything that David's had to say. So we've got 140 on the table. We've got 150. 160.
You're getting there. What about another 5?
Another 5. If I put down another 5, would we have a deal?
Yes.
Right. So you've got 165 on the table and we have a deal.
Thank you very much, Clay.
Thank you.
My £165 will go towards taking my granddaughter on holiday to Ireland.
It's £5 more than I wanted to pay, which is just £5 less profit for me.
No one said making a living was easy, Corrie. Attar has brought in a wooden box, and it seems he's something of a collector.
I actually buy these and renovate them. It's my hobby. I'm hoping to get about £300 for this.
If it's just a box, that seems a bit steep. What does Stuart think?
It's not up to my standard. It's had some restoration work that wasn't done very well, in my opinion.
Oh, Stuart, that's not like you. Now, will someone please tell us what it is?
First glance, it tells me it's a music box.
Correct.
And so it is, you're right. Tell me what you know about it, please, and how you acquired it.
It's what we call, this is a cylinder musical box. And it was in circulation around about the 1860s, 1870s. So you're looking at something that's about 150 years old now. It's in very good condition. The main point on these is the actual comb for the teeth to be all intact and the pins as well, because sometimes they do actually snap off. And it's a very expensive item to replace again. The box, as far as I am aware, is of oak. And on the lid you can see the inlay of a swan, which is beautifully decorated as well.
So it's got a rosewood lid here, a rosewood veneered top.
Correct.
And then inlaid with various woods.
Yes, of a nice swan, basically.
Yeah. Do you know its origin? I mean...
Swiss or Germany.
Germany's another. Okay, and how many airs? This has various numbers of airs. It's not just one tune, is it?
No,
these?
it's not one tune. It's got 12 there, so you've
12
got 12
airs,
airs on there, that's correct. You've got the choice with the 2 levers at the end there of hearing the same air all the time, the same tune, or you can just leave it and it automatically goes from 1 to the next till 12,
so
and then goes back to the beginning again.
So could you demonstrate on how,
Sure.
I'm sure you're familiar with it, you own it, but...
Yes, to operate it, this is the winding mechanism, which you have a strong spring there. In turn, that turns round the cylinder. I'll have to stand up to
You've got 2 brakes here, haven't we?
You've got the one here that starts the actual cylinder off, so it starts playing. If you want to increase the volume, you just open it up. And when this cylinder reaches its starting point, it will stop again.
Right, so it'll go through that one.
It'll go through the
revolution,
one.
yes.
That's correct.
So it will stop at the end of the first tune.
It will stop at the first tune, that's right.
Okay. And this has had some restoration work on it.
It has.
Is this something you've done yourself?
This is something I collect these, I buy them, restore them back to its original working condition, and then sell them on, and then buy another one with the proceeds.
Right, okay. Let's see if we can hit the right notes.
Correct.
20. 40, 60, 80, 100, 120.
I think you know better than that.
I do know better than that. But there are a few things that bring the level of this down to me. And I didn't know until we spoke whether you'd done the restoration or whether you purchased it like this or whatever. I'm surprised there's still Phillips screws in the hinges. And although that's a long way off, perhaps, how you rate it, so that's as high as I want to go.
No, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. Then I'll take it to auction. Thank
All
you
the very
very
best
much.
at auction.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure it will do much better at the auction with David's help as well.
You'll have a job to get much more in the auction. It just, maybe someone that didn't look at it closely might pay more.
Meow. Saucer of milk to Stuart's table. Let's see if our auctioneer William agrees.
The musical box is a good lot. It has had a bit of restoration, but at £200 to £300, I think we have every chance of selling it and getting it away because they're always popular.
Not everyone can be right. Let's get over to the hot and sticky sale room and see who's on the money.
What did you think about
Miserable
that?
deal. I don't think you wanted it.
Okay, so you were not really that interested in
I wasn't
120?
impressed, no.
Okay, our independent valuers on the day and the auctioneer all valued the item at £200 to £300.
Correct. That's correct.
We're hoping to return somewhere within that area. The reserve is £200. Here it is now. Let's see what it brings.
Lot 90A is a 19th century Swiss marquetry inlaid walnut musical box. And is it worth starting me £150 to go for a musical box? Surely 150 I'm bid, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200 is bid in the doorway. Anybody else then at 210 in front of me? 220, 220 has been in the doorway. At 220 in the room, 220.
That was gone down at £220. We take away the commission, you're going home with £180. Is that satisfactory?
That is, yes.
Are you satisfied?
I am satisfied, yes.
Is
it's not so
there-
much the money, it is the satisfaction of restoring them and hearing them back to their original glory. But yes, it's nice to get rewarded as well.
Well, I think you're doing a wonderful job, and congratulations. The real deal after restoration, and after wonderful restoration, was £220. Take away the commission, going home with another £180. Looking for the next project?
Definitely.
Or have you already got it?
It's already in the pipeline.
In the pipeline and ready to go to a sale room near you soon. This was the real deal.
Congratulations, Attar. You made the right choice. Don't leave your seats or you could miss this.
I wonder what would happen if you gave that as a gift to a young man today at the age of 17. He'd probably think we were insane.
Yeah.
Very butch, you know.
Yeah.
What could Ian be talking about? Find out in a bit.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Jeffrey's brought in a vintage vanity case and he wants an immaculate dealer to show it to. Wonder who that could be.
They're not used these days. I have 4 sitting in the shop at the moment.
Don't you let Ian put you off, Jeffrey.
How did you get hold of it?
It belonged to my late father. It was given to him for his 17th birthday in about 1946.
Wow. So it's been in the family a long time.
Yes, yes.
And you're moving it on for what reason?
It's basically lying doing nothing. My father's been gone for quite a while and it's just lying around and no one will use it. So I thought perhaps someone else might get some use out of it.
Well, you know, as we're living in modern times, unfortunately, for this sort of item, you know, they're not used anymore. You know, nobody uses a razor of that nature anymore. Nobody travels carrying all this because it's too much to carry. I wonder what would happen if you gave that as a gift to a young man today at the age of 17. He'd probably think we were insane.
Yeah.
Very butch, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not
sure what my 16-year-old would make of it.
He'd probably say, where's my laptop? Looking at them, they're all hallmarked, which is very good. And this engine turning is in pretty good condition. They're all marked Birmingham, 1936. and very clear hallmarks, so I think it's been well looked after, These bottles, silver bottles, they have these holes on top for talcum powders and things like that. If they didn't have the holes on top, they could have been of use for us to use today as containers of something, But with the holes on top, unfortunately, they have a disadvantage. They're almost like counting it as silver weight. So I was just calculating in my mind, if I were to sell it individually, what I would get for each piece, and I'm basing my pricing in that manner. Okay, let's say 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300.
At that level, I would like to take it to the auction.
I wouldn't want to pay more than that for it, because I need to do something about selling it.
Right.
And I don't know how I'd sell it. Have you been to auction before?
Once or twice,
yes. Once or twice. Well, here's another experience for you.
Thank you very much.
Do enjoy the auction, and I hope it makes you a lot of money.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to see maybe £500, but I realise it's a bit of a lottery, and we'll see what happens.
Good for you. David's already in the sale room.
620. 620 is bid there at 620.
It is here in the sale room with a £300 reserve. The question is, are you going to get as much in the sale room as you turned down from Ian Towning? I'm going to say to you, it's a closer on thing. It's coming up now. Let's see what happens.
A Hallmark silver engine turned gentleman's vanity set. Nice lot. In good condition, I'm bid £250, 260, 270, 280, 290.
They're going for it.
£300 in the room. 320, 340, 360. 380.
Taking me a little bit by surprise. I thought we were going to struggle here.
440, 460, 480, 500, and 20, 540, 560, 580, 600, 620.
600, 620. It has blown me away. 300 to 400, I thought we might struggle.
620.
£620, Jack. We've got some commission to take off. I make that £508. First of all, what's your reaction to £508?
I think it's fantastic.
Well, I can see a nice
Gamble
smile.
paid off.
The gamble well and truly paid off. Any idea what you will spend that amount of money on?
I'll probably give it to my kids to spend on their summer holidays.
Going to the kids, well, you know what they'll do with it. They'll have it spent within 2 minutes. On the day, real deal. Here in the sale room, 620 quid.
What a result for Geoffrey. The hammer went down at more than double Ian's offer. Now that's a Vanity Fair. It's time to see how the dealers have done in the profit stakes. Well, it's certainly not Janice or Ian's day. Both of them lost out as sellers went to auction. To make things worse, Janice hasn't sold the coffee set she did manage to buy. Ian hasn't sold the clock either. But he assures us he won't have a problem finding a buyer now that it's newly restored. Corrie has a slightly happier tale. She paid good money for the lovely letter opener.
260. And we have a deal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean.
And she sent it across the pond to an American collector, but made no profit at all.
Thank you very much.
Stuart got the Biggles flying gear in the bag.
I've got a client for them, and if he hasn't got too many, he'll take these.
By Jove, he was right, and he landed £260. So Stuart is the top dealer. But the real story today has been about the gamble of the auction. Lauren showed us how risky upping your reserve at the last minute can be.
With me, I'm afraid, not sold.
It was a different tune for Attar and his music box.
In the room, 220.
He made the right choice to turn down Stuart's offer and went home a richer man. That just leaves the biggest surprise of the day.
We've just sold Jeff's silver vanity case. He turned down on the dealer's day 300 quid. It made £620 here in the sale room, and he went home with just over £500. You'll excuse my attire. You can see I am somewhat a little bit hot under the collar. It is a very hot summer's day in the sale room, but as always, we've enjoyed it. Don't forget to join us next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. See you.